Okay, Avery, I zoomed out for a bird's eye view of your resume to see how this is going to look to a hiring manager. I definitely see that we need to do some balancing work here. This is off center, so we need to fix that. And for some reason, it's tripped over onto a second page. So you've got a lot of places down here at the bottom where you've probably hit the enter key a bunch of times and caused a second page to come up. So let's zoom back in and take a look at what's going on with your resume. So regarding your header area here, if you watched the video or if you took a look at the guidelines that were attached to the assignment, I mentioned that we do not need your specific street address anymore. All we need is your city, state, and zip, your phone number, and your email address. You don't need a street address anymore. And regarding your email address, if you are going for an internship that requires you to use your campus email because they need to make sure you're a student, then using that is fine. But once you graduate, we have no idea how long the school is going to maintain this particular email address and keep it active for you. As close as you are to finishing up, you might want to rethink using the school email and make sure you're using a personal one that still looks professional for your resume. Also, definitely use your LinkedIn profile up here. When you're formatting this, it should look like this one over here. Your name on the first line, bigger than everything else, and then all of the details underneath it. Now yours is, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit again. Yours is definitely off center, even though you've got the center actually working here. And what's going on is this indentation. Um, and if you watch the other video that's attached to your feedback, it talks about how to turn on the ruler bar and how to format bullets and how to format right aligned tab stops. So watch that video and how to turn on this. In order to fix this issue right here, I'm going to grab these sliders and move them back over and get them lined up. And now everything is lining up. So you had it centered, but somehow you had some indentation going on that was throwing that off. So we got that fixed, so you can fix that. On down here in the education, good job of expressing your degree correctly. I have a lot of students saying they're majoring in sports management, which is not what we offer. I notice here that you've got periods after N and C, but you don't have that anywhere else. So let's take those off. We don't really use those periods for these abbreviations these days anyway. So let's get rid of that. Again, the second video shows you how to set a right aligned tab stop since you have not used a right aligned tab stop in order to align these things. You've used a series of tabs, but not the right aligned tab stop that guarantees things are going to line up. Also, capitalize that D. Okay, remember consistency in formatting and alignment. You want everything to flow nice and neatly. Cumulative GPA expressed exactly the way it's supposed to. Congratulations on that 3.1. Let's keep it that way. Honors and awards, excellent list. I would actually add some extra space between this community college and your four-year degree. Actually, if push comes to shove and you get a lot of work experience, I would delete this community college altogether. The associates is in general studies, and so it's not really adding anything to your knowledge base or your skill base. If your associates was in computer science or graphic design, then I would say keep it. But since it's just a general studies associates, it's really not adding anything. So I would recommend deleting it. But since we do have all this empty space here, you might keep it for now, but as you build out the rest of your resume, that would be the first thing to go, okay? So for the time being, let's add a little bit of room between the community college and your university. So I've clicked right at the beginning of the line. Up here, layout, spacing. I'm going to increase spacing before just to add a little extra space there without hitting the enter key, which could cause a whole other set of formatting problems. All right. So on down here in your work experience, St. Augustine's assistant softball coach. So everything is formatted just right. Again, though, make sure you're using right aligned tab stops. Supervise workout and practice, as well as organize and implement practice and work schedule. For how many? Are you doing this independently? Are you setting up the work schedules and the practice schedules yourself? How many people are you supervising? Do you have other assistant coaches or team trainers that you are supervising or training? All of that stuff can be added in here. What does coaching first base entail? What do you actually do? How many games are you in charge of coaching? Remember from the guidelines and the video training, anywhere you can think of to add numbers or quantify your contribution, use it. If you need to talk to people and brainstorm how to come up with some of these bullets, feel free to do that. I'm available. Since you're sport management major, Professor Umar is available. Dean Sapp is always available, and he's great at coming up with these things. So if you need help brainstorming bullet points, come see any of us or all of us and get everyone's opinion on it. Again, we've got a spacing issue with warehouse athletics being way too close to campus crossings. I'm going to go up here again and add some space between the two. Again, we're going to look at incorporating numbers as much as possible. Quantify what you did, your contribution to the organization, okay? Below that, activities. I would definitely look for other skill sets that you can list here too. You've got some activities and that's great, but what kind of computer skills do you have? Did you use any kind of technology in any of the positions that you've had here that you can list? I would definitely list those types of things, technical skills, language skills, things like that. If you do use language skills, make sure that you delineate writing skills versus speaking skills. That's a very different thing. There are plenty of websites that will show you how to discuss language skills on resumes. So I would definitely recommend Googling that. But otherwise, this is looking very good. It's looking very similar to what we're shooting for over here. You chose not to include relevant coursework. And without having a look at your resume or your transcript right now, I can't make any suggestions on things that you can add, but that would be another option for adding some more content to this resume so that you're actually filling up a good solid page. And delete out whatever's going on down here at the bottom that's causing, see, look at all this, where you've hit the enter key a million times. Let's get rid of all of that. And we don't even want that there. Okay. So I can see you've hit a tab key several times to push things over, but they aren't right aligned tabs. You've used the space bar a bunch of times to push this on over. This little button right here is really, really helpful to figure out what's going on in your document. So you're going to delete all of this stuff out. Use that other video that's attached to your feedback on bullets and tab stops and set some right aligned tab stops to better organize this. You're going to fix the heading area, get rid of the street, clean up some spacing here. Other than that, you're looking really good. I look forward to seeing your revised document by Friday. If you haven't had the chance to really catch up with people by Friday, definitely by next Wednesday after the Labor Day holiday, but see if you can get me a revised resume by this Friday. I definitely look forward to seeing what you come up with.